Welcome to the overview video for VBrass French Horns, the latest addition to the V-Series family. Like all other V-Series instruments, VBrass French Horns uses a blend of real samples and state-of-the-art modeling techniques to offer authentic recordings of world-class musicians, combined with unparalleled playability. VBrass French Horns consists of 6 instruments: 4 French horns, 1 triple horn, and a Wagner tuba. Before we dive into the details and new features, we wanted to show you what it's like to play live, out the box, without any editing. And to show you how close our instruments are to the recorded sound, here are some comparisons between the real thing and VBrass, also performed live without any editing. As with our other VCU's instruments, the French horns employ our revolutionary harmonic alignment technology, which we call the H.A.T, allowing for 100% continuous control over the sound, meaning you can play whatever you want, any articulation, at any speed, at any dynamics, without the need to change patches for different articulations. VBrass French Horns is undoubtedly the most versatile library we've ever created. In preparing and testing early prototypes, we found that many people had very different and very strong ideas of how a French horn should sound. Some preferred a brighter, brassier tone, and others preferred a warmer, more mellow sound. So our focus on these instruments has been to offer users as much control over the overall sound as possible. We have added a number of new features to this library. Firstly, a new dial to the main page of the interface. You can see a little B under the airflow dial. This dial controls the buzz, or the timbre of the instrument. When dialed up to the maximum, you'll hear the full brassy sound as it was recorded, but for users that don't want this, you can simply remove some or all of the buzz, while keeping the power and overall volume intact. Like all controls, it can be assigned to a CC, and the dial itself works in conjunction with airflow, assigned by default to CC1. Also on the main interface is a menu for mutes with a new dial next to it. This menu can be assigned a CC, allowing you to change between an open and a muted sound without the need for extra channels. In real life, muting a horn can have a huge impact on the overall volume. But of course, this is not ideal for MIDI programming. So we included a dial next to the mutes, which enables you to control how much they affect the volume of the sound. In terms of performance and playability, we added something to this library that we have been developing and experimenting with for some time now. Recorded legato transitions on every single interval of the instruments, from the very lowest to the very highest note. Designing and incorporating this legato into our instruments was a Herculean task. But eventually we found a way to make the transitions work in real time, without the need for negative delay. With these transitions comes a brand new set of controls. Gone is the option to choose between legato based on real, modeled or smart transitions. It's now set to recorded legato by default. A lifelike legato sound relies mainly on two things: the sounds of the mechanics of the instrument, and the corresponding changes to airflow and other parameters to match the intention of the music. For users comfortable on a keyboard and mod wheel, this can be achieved convincingly by careful use of CC1 alone. And for users who would rather draw and edit in the piano roll, we have added a new section, Expressive Legato. These controls allow you to play expressively without having to use any extra CCs. They essentially alter the airflow, timbre and pitch right before a transition, and then they reset to their original value after the note is played. The amount of pitch affected can also be controlled at the top of the pitch section. You can choose the duration for each side of the transition and how much of the effect you want to hear. This is all controlled by the velocity at which you play the second note of the transition, and you can set a threshold to avoid the whole effect at higher velocities, in case you want to play fast passages, for example. Expressive legato can be achieved through use of CC1 alone, and we will cover this and other topics in a new series of tutorial videos coming soon. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel or sign up for our newsletter at our website, linked in the description. As well as recorded legato, one of our most common requests has been for a stronger dynamic on mote attacks, so we have added a triple F layer, particularly focusing on attacks. These will sound as stronger attacks even when airflow is at its maximum of 127, and the amount can be adjusted in the preferences above the legato section. The sharpness at which the triple F layer returns to the bass airflow can also be controlled. On the next tab, we have added 4 microphone positions, one behind the player, capturing the sound from the bell, and 3 positions in front of the player. We have given the option to choose between a processed and an unprocessed set of recordings. The unprocessed sound is the raw, untreated sound as it was recorded, and the processed sound is with some treatment of specific frequencies to offer a different sound from each microphone position. This is a brand new feature, and its application is purely up to the user. We would cautiously suggest that the processed sound might be more useful in ensembles, and the unprocessed sound for more soloistic play. But the preference is entirely yours. We recommend experimenting with both sets in different spaces and with different microphone and source patterns to achieve the sound you want. In our Virtual Space tab, we have added a number of new features, the biggest of which is an entirely new virtual room, based on recordings of the Carol Mash Hall in the UK. This is a medium-sized recital room, but very rich in acoustic, and it can either be used on its own or as early reflections in preparation for adding your own room tail to simulate a bigger space. Along with the new room, we've added some controls to help users place the sound more precisely. An option to dampen the high and low frequencies of the reflections, and a menu where you can choose between 4 different patterns, including some in true stereo. Point for a narrower, more focused sound. Realistic, which is exactly as recorded. Increased for slightly more width. And spread for a much wider sound. All of these have their own distinct sound and can be very useful in mixing and blending with other instruments. That's all for this video. For a more in-depth look at all features of the library, check out the video linked in the description below. Thanks for watching.